I'm just an old truth teller. I'm your candid friend. I'm not some daydream seller. I do not pretend.
Hi. I did the first couple minutes of the show and I wasn't even online and didn't notice because I wasn't paying attention. I was so wrapped up in the topic. Um, Stress. Years ago, many years ago, I got certified as a stress counselor. And because I figured stress and I were old friends, so put it to some use. Been able to help some people with it. And I see a lot of people that are in the midst of what we're going through are having what I believe to be trouble dealing with stress. They may not agree, but part of it is that you've got to mitigate it. You've got to get ahead of it and to help before it comes to a boil and it gets too late. There are many people out there dealing with this situation that we're having, and what I'm scrolling along, there are some physical signs that you are getting overwhelmed by the situation. It is not about a deficiency in you. You are getting overwhelmed. Uh, your your perception of normalcy is being messed with, or as uh, I like to say, your calm is being damaged. Uh, so you've got all these different physical signs that are coming up that you can see there, and they greatly impact the way we deal with things over and over. Um, and you know, you've got the physical signs, you've got cognitive signs. I'll switch to the cognitive ones. Um, and look, there's nobody that doesn't have half of these things going on if they're a regular adult in the world. It doesn't mean that there's something woefully wrong with you. Not dealing with them means that there's something wrong with you. And you will make it come, it will be a self fulfilling prophecy that something will happen that will impact you. So you should get this addressed. That doesn't mean you have to talk to a shrink. That doesn't mean you have to put out a lot of money. Talk to a friend. And people should be paying attention to their friends and seeing if someone is not dealing with the stress of what is going on. Well, if their behaviors are changing. Um, there's a bunch of different things. Like I said, those are the cognitive signs, and then you get the emotional signs. Uh, where am I at? The emotional signs and the behavioral ones are the ones that we tend to see more. We notice in people. Um, we have to talk to people. We have to have open lines of discussion. We have to speak about what's going on, and we have to not bury problems. My generation was raised that you speak of nothing, you knot it up into a nice tight ball, keep it in your gut, and die 20 years too soon, minimum. That's the way we were doing it. That was the plan. That plan doesn't work anymore. Um, these are the behavioral signs that we will notice in ourselves and in others, mostly in others. Um, I've done this for a while. The components should be in place in your life, workplace, activity. It is in emergency services now more than ever um, to deal with these things and to do counseling to people, to keep people. It's easier to put out the fire, as it were, before it spreads, before it gets too big. And that's the same thing with mental health issues. Uh, we know about the 5 stages of grief: denial, anger, bargaining, depression, acceptance. And we can go through those in many different topics. We can go through those in different aspects of this whole big virus situation that we're all in. I mean, we're all in different shades of emotional, physical, financial duress because of this. The reason I'm bringing it up is because the biggest stress on this is that it's that big unknowing. look, put all the politics aside. Everybody wants to get home at the end of the day. Everybody wants to live. We don't know. It's the uncertainty. We like to know. We don't know. There's uncertainty. They say it's back on the rise. Science has not eradicated this thing. It's not going away on its own. This roller coaster that they're putting us through, where these experts are trying to tell us that they know what's going on and here's what to do, then they contradict themselves the next day. They're human beings like the rest of us, even though they don't think they are. They need to be more realistic in what they say. And realistically, I'm going to do this off the top of my head. Realistically, a speech about this thing, it's impacting us all. It does not discriminate. It does not know race, color, or creed. It doesn't care. We do not know how to stop it. We are trying to mitigate it. And if everybody is intelligent, we can help do that. Until science comes up with a vaccine, we have to be careful. We have to be extra careful. And we have to not only think of ourselves, we think about the other people we impact. So it's not about just you or just me. It's about your elderly relatives. It's about the young children. It's about the other people that you could potentially affect. So we have to act accordingly, and we have to act sensibly. It's about more than just you. That's where we're losing people. When people are going through these different stressors, they don't want to say things. There are things that they have trouble with. Adults have trouble with. Key phrases: I don't know. I was wrong. I need help. I'm sorry. I'm afraid. And then there's mine. I need to learn where the camera is so that I can put things up so I can see. So I don't know. I was wrong. I need help. I'm sorry. I was afraid. Those statements, when people are making those statements, that's the road to getting better. That really is. It's the road to getting better. You don't have to see a horrific event to feel the stress of, I don't like the term post-traumatic stress disorder because it's being thrown around too much, but when you're outside the scope of your comfort zone, that's when this can begin to break you. Everybody is not built the same. Some of us are more frail than others, or some of us are tougher than others, however you want to look at it. But you should get help. And again, that doesn't mean you have to go to a shrink. You can talk to a friend. Don't seek help in the sense of a shortcut. And that's usually drinking, substance abuse, things of that nature. You have to talk to somebody. You have to get out there and talk. Alcohol, drugs, those things aren't fixes. They're patches that just lead to other problems. They're just gateways to other problems. But you have to go out there and talk to somebody. There is somebody. I guarantee you there's somebody who will talk to you about this. There are helplines you can call if you don't have anybody to talk to. And I can't imagine. I even think the people don't think they have somebody to talk to do have somebody to talk to. They just don't realize it. Give it a try. This doubly applies to people I know in emergency services and healthcare at this time because they're under different stressors and they need to really think about that. I'd be happy to talk to anybody who wants to talk a little bit if they need a little bit of help or just to get something off their chest. Don't drink. Don't do drugs. Things that do help. Having a quasi-systematic approach to it, writing out your feelings, talking to people, getting them on paper, trying to rest more, contact friends. Don't get bored. Don't allow your mind to wander. Try to do something. Writing down is a tremendous help. Writing down these things and doing. Some people write them down and throw them away, and that's their way of letting go of the emotions. That works too. And lastly, find a good counselor if you need one. I don't think you do. I don't think most people do. I think we can get ahead of this. We're a little tougher than that. So, again, take it easy. Don't drown your sorrows in the wrong way. Everybody's going to get through this. And if you need somebody to talk to, look up an old friend. Or even better yet, if you're feeling good and you're doing fine, you're getting through this, call up an old friend and talk to them. So I thank you for your time, and I'm going to go take my own advice and call up an old friend. Bye-bye.
I'm just an